that Ryan Garcia and Barrios fight official, and do you still want him next?
Yeah, listen, I'll fight the winner. The green and gold belt is the belt I've always wanted. It's been hanging up in my gym, my dad's belt. For me, that belt is the one that I want, and no doubt it's the belt I'm going to strive to get.
If they do fight next, then who would you fight instead?
It depends on whether I hold out or whether I challenge the likes of Rollies or, the winner of tonight, Haney versus Norman. The world's my oyster, I'll fight any man, that's a given.
Conor, what about Lewis Crocker in the interim as well? Obviously he's got the IBF.
Yeah, I mean, listen, not really interested. It's bigger fish to fry, in my opinion. Although he's the IBF, he's not really a name that's on my radar. For me, about the £10 rehydration, just not really. I'd rather win the WBC. For me, that's my main goal, or a big American name, and maybe come over here and headline in Vegas and fight the likes of Rollies, Garcias, Barrios. I believe we do a good show in Vegas.
You just mentioned Haney and Norman. Who do you think wins tonight out of those two?
I think Haney's in a very hard fight. I think if he's not confident, which by his last performance didn't show him he's a confident fighter, he'll be banging trouble. If he's got his confidence back, I believe it can go, it can nick it on points.
And Garcia and Barrios, obviously, you just mentioned there, it seems like it's done. Who do you see winning that fight?
It's a bit of a hard one. I've heard it's done, I've heard it's not done. Ultimately, I'll be willing to step in if it's not done, and I'll be able to get myself down in weight as soon as April.
What's your honest thoughts on Devin Haney? We always see yourself go back and forth. I guess what can you honestly say about him now?
Listen, he's just not my cup of tea. He's just not someone I'm overly keen on. I can't even say as a man, because he's just not my cup of tea. No.
You haven't fought 147 for almost over 3 years. Is there any concerns, I guess, getting back down to that weight for yourself?
It was more of a concern me jumping up to 160. That was more of a concern than me getting back down to 147. You have science, I have a nutritionist, I have a chef, I have a performance coach. You have the technology today, so we can safely say I'll be able to make 147 without, listen, it ain't going to be pleasant, but without causing my body any harm.
Conor, obviously your dad had a lot of success over in America. I mean, how would it be for you to win that WBC over in America like your dad did as well, even though he won it in Italy but defended it over there?
My eyesight is heavily set on the WBC world title. Now, if Barrios and Garcia are fighting, I'd be willing to hold out, I believe, if we can come to some sort of an agreement that I fight the winner. The WBC for me is a dream. Just that it's the pinnacle. Yes, you have the IBF, yes, you have the WBA and WBO. The WBC is the belt for me. That's something that I've had my eyesight set on for me to achieve that. I would happily retire after winning the WBC world title.
And what has your dad said about your winner on Saturday? Obviously, he had a few words at senior in the post-fight presser, but what has your dad said to you about your win?
Yeah, no, my dad's happy, man. Like, he looked to me in the morning and goes, "Son, I love you, mate. I love you, mate." I'll be like, "I'll forever have that over you, Dad. And you'll forever have the WBC belt over me." So until I get that, it's even at the minute.
What did you make of your dad's comments about Eubank Sr?
He don't like him. That's it. If I was to put a mic in your face and say to you, "What do you think of this geezer?" If you're true to yourself, you would openly say, "Yeah, I don't like him." My dad's just saying he don't like him, and as I said, and I always say, you ain't got to like everybody.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua, what do you make of that one, man?
That's wild. That is wild. Like, I mean, I rate Jake Paul. As in, he's a grafter, he works hard, he ain't got to do it. He's taking on the hero of British boxing. He's the guy who's done it all, a massive puncher. You got to take your hat off to him, man.
What do you make of his chain? Because you've got a chain on. Did you see his chain that Anthony Joshua wants?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I rate it. I rate Jake Paul. Everything about him, his marketing, the fact that he puts the work in, the fact that he wants to face these challenges. You got to take your hat off to him, and I think he's doing great.
Would you fight Jake?
Would I fight Jake? Listen, bro, he is the money man, isn't he? Everyone's getting paid off of Jake. So you gotta just, as I said, take your hat off to him. Is it would I do that at this stage of my career? Probably not. But then again, money talks, doesn't it?
What about Chris Eubank Jr? I know it's been a week now, but what do you think he should do next? Do you think he should retire?
I can't say. It's not for me to say. I think he's I think Chris is a great fighter. He gave me 2 great fights, but ultimately he's now at the stage of his career where he should look at retirement. Let's see what fights they can pull out for him at maybe 168 and see where he goes from there.
Were you shocked at the Chris that turned up last week then?
I wasn't shocked at the Chris that turned up. The fact is I changed the antics completely. You know, I didn't take the fight to him. The first fight, I took the fight to him, I left myself open. I was vulnerable in my tactics. I was aggressive so he could counter me easy. This time round it was down to me to make him use his feet, make him use his reactions and his timing, which I knew couldn't compete with mine. I'm the younger, fresher fighter. So for me it was a matter of what I'd done in there. I could have made the first fight that way. But ultimately I learned from the first fight and it was a matter of using my feet, my feints, my jab to set everything up. You know, there was no hope for him. I'm too fast, I'm too explosive, I'm too sharp, I'm too young. You know, a lot of people say I couldn't outbox him. Body shots first round damaged him, second round damaged him, body, speed and feints just broke him down.
Were you surprised at how it was post-fight towards you in terms of giving you the credit that you deserved and respect?
I mean,
Seconds out, round 1.
I haven't really thought about it. I mean, whether he respects me or not, I still beat him.
Conor, just I'm sure you've seen clips online after your fight. People like Dave Allen, you know, saying that look, the sort of Eubank that you fought was washed up, and this isn't Conor Benn that's going to be winning world titles. There's been a few people say that. What do you make of that sort of response?
I don't know. I think Dave Allen should focus on his career because he looked like Eubank in his last fight. He was the Eubank, you know. So I don't feel like there's really much he can say. Ultimately, I beat what was in front of me relatively easy, you know. But at least I wasn't the Eubank, you know. He was the Eubank.
Last couple, please. Do you think your next fight will be at Tottenham Stadium again? And if you ever get the chance to fight at Wembley, who do you think that could be against?
Listen, I just want to give the public the fights they want. So whoever the public want, I'll happily fight. Put some names in a hat, pull one out, and see what happens.
What's your time frame?
I want to be back out lively. But if it is the winner of Barrios Garcia, I'll happily wait.
What about you and Shakur? I see you going back and forth on Twitter as well.
I messaged Shakur. I said, listen, if you're really about it, let's do it next. Like, I don't just do the social media thing for bants. I said, we can do that next and we can do it in April. And he said, cool, let me get Tio out of the way, we'll do it in April. So you may be seeing me and Shakur next.
What do you think about his fight against Tio?
I think it's a hard fight. I think Tio's a great fighter. I think he's a great fighter. I think it'll be a close fight. It's a 50-50 fight.
Last one.
Conor, you love some Twitter beef, don't you? You love riling up your opponents, don't you?
Boxing's boring otherwise. Who wants to be boring? Who wants to be neutral? Who wants to be vanilla? You know, just say what you got to say and say it with chest.
But it's the best way to reach out to your opponents, right?
Yeah, but I like doing it in the ring.
You like doing it on Twitter as well?
Nah.
Conor, you did the one thing that your father couldn't do in being a Eubank. You say you want to go to America, get a world title, which your father did.
I do.
You think at the end of the day your career will eclipse what your father was able to accomplish?
Nah, my dad's the GOAT. I could never do what my dad done. My dad's me and times 10. My dad's the GOAT. There's nothing I could ever do in the sport of boxing that would ever surpass my dad.